Welcome, ladies and gentlemen. And in today's installment, I'm going to shift things a little bit and show you how I create the videos and movies that you're currently using. Now, as some of you may know, this particular movie is being created through Screencastify, but what I'm putting up onto YouTube, I am actually using a video editor. Now, there's a whole lot of different places and a whole lot of different types that you can use. We know in Google that you have WeVideo. And so if you have all of your photos, videos located within your Google Drive, that's a really easy place to use a video editor. You can also use the old Apple one, which is the iMovie. So again, if you have an iPad of some type, that you can certainly create through that. YouTube has definitely done that as well. And one of the nice things about YouTube is it gives you a really large library of copyright or royalty-free music that you can add in as audio tracks. So that's a free feature that they offer that a lot of the others don't. However, I am an old Windows guy, and so I tend to use that's the one that I'm most familiar with. Now, one of the big changes that they did with Windows 10 was they got rid of Movie Maker on us. Movie Maker was the editor format that we used when we were using Windows 7, Windows 8, Vista, XP, and so on. But for Windows 10, they've actually located in a different spot. So that's really what I wanted to show you today was we actually do it out of Photos now. And so when we go to Photos, you'll notice right up here at the top, I have what I see as new video. And so if I click on new video, I'm going to create a new video project. There is a whole lot of different features that you can do with that, but for this purpose, we're just going to call this our movie editing tutorial. I'm going to change that title later once I get it up into YouTube. This just gives me a working title for now. And then I'm ready to add in my library. And you'll notice that I actually have three different locations I can add in from. I can add in from this PC, so any videos, any clips, anything that I have located on this PC, I can get from there. From my collection, those are ones that I've uploaded directly into my Windows Photos, and I'm going to be able to pull them out of that particular library. Or I can also pull from the web. And this is particularly helpful if I have a photo that I want to use as in terms of a 5-second clip to kind of use as an introduction, or I may even have something in terms of a lesson plan that I want folks to see, that I want to explain. I can just download it directly from the internet and drop it right into this video and take it from there. So in this particular case though, from this PC, it's going to take me to anywhere located on my area. And so you can see here that I can go to anywhere in my table of contents within my PC and pull out any video, any picture that I want and add it into here. One thing that's important to recognize though, and this is a big part of why I like the Windows Photos so much, is because it will automatically change it into an MP4 file. And an MP4 file is really the one file that is kind of universal, that will work with just about anything. And the quality off of it is top notch. To give you an idea, this is actually anything that I am sending into Cogeco TV for their purposes. I am running through this program because by changing it into an MP4 file, it gives the highest quality and will work even from a television standpoint in terms of that level of quality. So it also works well with the audio. It mixes it well. And so that's really why I like this particular one. The thing to remember though is if you're making a montage of videos, you want to avoid people emailing the video or the video in particular to you, because when you email it, it changes it into a format that doesn't work as well. You're always better to use either Dropbox or share it as a Google Drive, or Apple actually now has the gives you the ability to basically send a link to anyone. You don't even have to have an Apple account anymore to be able to open up that link, and it keeps it in that same format where it's not actually an email. So that's really the best ways to share those kinds of things. If it's a photo, it doesn't matter as much. You can take a photo and email it. Again, depending on the device that you're using, though, it will change it to different formats. And that's one of the really nice things about Windows Photos is it really takes a very wide range of different files and be able to mix them together and to be able to convert them into that MP4 file, more so than a lot of the other programs that I've seen right now. So that's why I prefer to use it over some of the others. So again, if I was to just to click on some of these, I'm going to hit my control button so I can drop all three in, and I'm going to open them up. And you see that it immediately puts it in there, and I'm just going to hit place in storyboard, and it puts all of them in. It's at this point then that I can add a title card. So if I wanted to change, for example, terms of my text, or I'm going to start with my background. I prefer that dark blue one, but I can change my background any color. You can also create, lots of times what folks will do is if you have a promo video that you want to use instead of that title card, then you just put it in as a clip at the very beginning, and you're doing the same type of thing. Essentially, you're making a very short video. You would save it, and then you would keep it in your library, and you would drop it in as well. But off of my title, I just got to move my window out of the way so I can get to it. I can just put in my tutorial. If I notice though down here in my layout, I can put it in different spots. I also have within my options here, if you can see my different text here, I like that Joy one, the color on it. You can, if you go through, you can see there's different ways of looking at it, depending on what you want to do. So depending on what type of title that you want to use, I can also go, if I go back, I'm going to hit done at this point. Click on it, and I can change my duration from there. So this particular one, I change my duration to 5 seconds. I want to drag that out to about 4. That's generally where I have the text stay, is in 4 of the 5 seconds. And then I'm going to hit done. And now I'm ready to start working through. And you'll notice along here that things change. My trim and my split. My trim basically will shorten if I'm at the beginning or the end of a clip. I can take out the first part or the last part. Split is really where I work with most of my editing, where I'm just going to click on it. I go to split, and then I just kind of run it, depending on where I want to go. So again, you can see at the very beginning there, I was a little bit off. I'm keeping an eye along the time frame at the bottom there, and so on. This is where my 3D effects, a lot of you may have seen the video that we created for the St. Emily community. And this is where all the 3D effects came out of. The motion is all the different ways that the screens will come in and out. Again, large options in terms, several options in terms of what you can do there. My speed, normally keep that at normal, but if I wanted to suddenly speed it up or make it go into slow motion at a certain point, I can do that. I would just take that particular clip, I would split it, and that particular section that I wanted to slow down, I would then set the clip speed to that particular area. My filters, again, lots of different looks. If I want to change, kind of give that ghost effect, all those different types of things, I can do that. And of course, I can actually add text right into the area as well. And again, I'm just typing my text right up in there, placing it where I want to put it, and so on. Again, they also have, if I have custom audio in the St. Emily case, my friend Andrew Yon, who had recently composed a song called Unbreakable. This is where I got the MP4 file from him, and I dropped it in through there. We can also put in background music, and again, they also have, and this is one of the advantages again that I like about Windows Photos, is they also, like YouTube, have a large selection of background. Now, I don't normally use this too much just because most of the videos that I'm creating, there are people speaking in it. And so I want to keep the background music, but if I have just really a collection of pictures, if I have situations where I want some music at the beginning or at the end before people begin speaking and so on, that's where I could add the background music in. There are on the three dots. I can duplicate the project. I can back it up. I have different themes and so on if I wanted to do that. But finally, at the end, I'm going to hit finish video. And on finish video, if I was to click on it, I always want to go to my high quality. I can go to medium and low, but just the high quality, there really isn't much difference in terms of the time that it takes. And so that's why I tend to go with the high quality. If you look at your more options, you always want to make sure that your hardware accelerated encoding is going off. You would only turn this off if you're seeing glitches within the exported videos, but most of the time I really haven't seen that at all. So I always want to make sure that my checkbox is on in this particular case because it speeds it up. And it's at this point that I would hit export, and it would take 2 or 3 minutes to run through this where I don't want to close my window. And then at the end, it would actually automatically save it right into my File Explorer under videos, and it would be listed as that title that I have given it, Movie Editing Tutorial. And so that's really how we create it. And then once I've created that file, then I just upload it right into YouTube or anywhere else that I'm going to broadcast it. So hopefully that gives you an idea of how I do movie editing. You will find that most of these programs are extremely similar. Very similar features, work the same way. If you're working in WeVideo or in some other format as well, there's a lot of carryover between any of these, and it doesn't take long to be able to figure out how to use that program versus this one. So hopefully that helps you folks, and enjoy.